Good morning. It is Thursday. And so today what I thought I'll do is take you through an active warm up that I do before I work out. And so I typically do a full body, but recently I've been trying to be very more, what's the word? Intentional with my warm up. So it's a little bit longer, but it's been helping a lot, especially because I'm putting a lot of pressure and stress on my body with the main lifts that I'm doing. So it's really important that my whole body as a whole is warmed up rather than just my legs and or just my upper body. So this might help you. It might not help. If some things might work, you may take some things, you may not. That's okay, but I kind of want to show you what I do. Take some things if you need to, right? Little golden nuggets, whatever that looks like. But that's what I'm going to show you today. So we're going to head to the gym and you'll see. So the first things first is kind of just warming up, and that means getting on the treadmill. I'm sometimes good at this, sometimes not, but we'll try. These are something that I've learned in track and field in my soccer days, and this is part of my dynamic warm up. So making sure that I'm getting blood flowing through my legs, high, kicks, low kicks, whatever you want to call them. But these are really good for me because it starts getting me warmed up and ready for the lifts that I'm going to do. I really emphasize doing dynamic over static. I think a lot of people know that now, and I'm glad people are getting that messaging because I didn't before track and soccer. So, really important. So these can look really wonky. You're gonna see in a second. And I do these, they're like my hip circles, and they really loosen up my hip to get them warm. Again, dynamic, dynamic, dynamic stretching. But this is really important for me to do before I get into my lift. And it might be a mental thing, but hey. One way to think about these is thinking about your leg going over a fence or going over a hurdle. So it's going over a hurdle and then it's going back over a hurdle. So I bring the leg forward in one stretch down a line, and then I bring my leg back the other way. So think about going over a fence or a hurdle. It's really good for this movement when you're trying to do it. Whew. Yeah. This one's one of my lazy stretches, but I do them because I got some tight hamstrings and my hamstrings need to stretch out. So these are a must. The previous exercises that you saw though, so this, the hip circles, and the dynamic stretching where I'm doing high knees and low kicks, I just do them until I start feeling like I'm warmed up. So there's not really a recommended count that I do, but I just do them until I'm feeling good and ready. These are something that I've recently just started putting into my warm-up routine. And as you can see, it probably is not the prettiest, but hey, it helps me because I get some lower sciatica pain sometimes, and I really need to be careful about that because of the lifts that I'm doing. So I've been implementing some new stuff that's been working wonders for me in that sciatica nerve pain, and I don't feel it anymore while I'm doing my squat or deadlifts, which is mainly when I was feeling them. This next stretch again is kind of stretching my hamstrings. This is where I feel it the most, and kind of getting my hips loosened, all about my hip movement because I'm using my hips a lot. Next, I move into my hip circle band. So you're gonna see me put it right here. I got it from Mark Barbell store. Also, that's where my sleeves are, but I've been using this for years now. And again, I've been using them for hip mobility, stretching, strengthening, all those things. So really great purchase that I've made, and I probably will not throw it out ever until it becomes loose and raggedy and then I have to actually force to get a new one. Now this right here might be the holy grail of my warm up, which is sitting in a deep squat. This one's more static, I know, but I need to sit in this deep squat because let me tell you, I just I get into this position quite often. I need to loosen it up. It needs to be familiar with it, and then you see me doing those high-low little things. Yeah, it just helps. Okay, try it. Now we're moving into the upper body stuff. So you're probably wondering, like, when are you gonna actually work on your upper body? Well, here it is. So I don't even know what to call any of this stuff, but this is what I do, and this is what I've been doing now because recently I had gotten a pain near my like mid back, and that's because I haven't been strengthening it or really warming up properly. So this is me doing so. These I specifically do for sets of 15, one set. But it's important that I do that so I'm warmed up, ready to go, especially in the deadlift because I'm putting like my arms are the anchors, right? But it's still putting a lot of pressure applying to those anchors. So really important that I do these for my upper body health. It has been helpful and profound in my warm up. Even what you're seeing now, so those circles that I've been doing with my shoulders, again, my boyfriend taught me that, but it's been really helping like my scalp getting warmed up, my shoulder, like all these things that I used to neglect before. And when it comes to lifting, you want to think about longevity and not just like quick spurt stuff. So for me, I had a rude awakening when I had that little bit of an injury, and now it's really important to me and not getting any younger. I'm 25, so it's all important. So do your warm-ups. And this is where we're getting into the nitty gritty of my workout. And we are warming up. We're warming up with the bar because, again, let's get warmed up. Let's not go right into the heavy weight, okay? It's not smart. And that is how you're asking for a quick injury and a quick pause to your lifting journey. Now we are in the top set of my deadlifts for today, which is 275. I was programmed to do pause, but I put a halt on a pause for a little bit just because as the weight starts getting heavier, doing pause deadlifts become way more uncomfortable, and that's where I noticed a lot of tweaks coming in. So hitting 275 here, again, I warmed up in increments. So I did the bar, I did 45 pounds next, I did 45 and then the 25s, I did two 45s, and now I'm doing 45s and 25s. So increments is really important, allowing my body to understand like what's moving, what I'm doing, and it's also kind of a mental thing for me too. I can't just jump into my heaviest set after hitting like 135. It's not me. I need to do the increments of things to get myself warmed up. That works for me. You might lift very differently, and that's perfectly fine, right? But here's the lift. Thanks for watching, and we'll go to talking to Leah next, coming up right here. So I hope what you saw was kind of useful. This is something that I've been recently doing that's a little bit different and new, because stretches I've been doing before have been dynamic, but they weren't hitting every body part that needed to be hit, especially when I'm doing movements like deadlift, squat, bench. Like, all parts of my body are being activated and used in some way, and so it's important that I give each of those specific body parts the attention that it needs, because injury is you're very, very prone to injury after a long time of doing something. And so I need to be more mindful of that, and have been more mindful of that. And so it's just been helping me. But as you can see, a lot of those things are dynamic, like I mentioned before. A lot of them I learned from my track career and soccer career. So I've taken things that I've learned in different sports, applied it to powerlifting, and you probably saw a few static stretches, and again, those are important for me to do as well, to kind of get warmed up in the hole, all those things. And so this was a really fun one to record, and I'm hoping that you've taken maybe one or two things that you may add to your stretching routine. Really, really important to get your body warmed up. Like, super important. If you're new to the gym, if you're kind of trying to get into it, do not, and I repeat, do not miss the warm-up phase. Warming up is so crucial, and it might be annoying, it might be irritating, you might just want to get into it, but don't, because you'll be hurting yourself for the long run. And again, my warm-up might be useful for some, might not be useful for others, and that's okay, right? Find what's useful for you. Might be good for you, might not, and like I said, it's all different. It all depends on the person. That being said, like and share this video. If you would subscribe, that would be also really, really awesome. But that being said, I had so much fun, and I can't wait for me to record the new video and to post on YouTube again. Thanks, everyone.